That guy again. Amazing. Hi. We're nearly there, by the way. We're nearly there. I'm the only person stood in between you and a party tonight. 20 minutes. I think we're running ahead of schedule, so I'll try and keep it on time. Who's seen one of these before? Hands up. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, from the back. Excellent. So this is the now, the wondrous future, or the next and the wondrous future of out of home. Broadly speaking, 12 examples are all a bit weird, but at least they'll give you something fizzy to talk about. They're all broadly speaking out of home based as well. This is me, by the way. You know who I am, so if you didn't, I'm Dino, the guy from yesterday. I champion out of home, as Tom has just said. That's a very nice introduction. Thank you very much. I investigate new things. I like a lot of mischief. I'm the guy who downloads the dangerous things, especially the AI models to my laptop, help companies embrace innovation. I like shirts. And finally, I checked this out today, I am still the #1 on Google for child microchipping. So if you type in child microchipping expert, I'm the #1 hit after eBay and Amazon. I don't know why they're in there, but there you go. True fact. Normally what I do is I talk about the Gartner hype cycle. This is from last year. It comes out every year, broadly speaking, August, hence why this is last year's one. It is the hype cycle. If you've not seen this before, it's super useful. These hype cycles are for many things. This is the technology one. So it talks about hype. Hype is obvious. Oh, by the way, translators, thank you very much for all your work. I'm trying to speak as slowly as I can because there's going to be some funky words coming up soon. However, this is the hype cycle. It is about how much hype is around technology. And the way this graph works is at the beginning, something is invented, something technological, because it's a technology curve. Then what happens is everybody hears about it. Maybe there's a report in the newspaper or on social media. You hear it at a conference, TV, whatever it is. Everybody hears about it, and then you realize it probably can't do what you thought it did. Bitcoin, blockchain, NFTs, all those sorts of things have been through the hype cycle. Then it plummets into the trough of disillusionment. You're unhappy with it. It doesn't do what you think it should do. Then eventually it goes into the slope of enlightenment. You realize it can do something, and then ideally the plateau of productivity, when people actually make things with it. So as ever, AI is on there. There's a few more AIs on there as well. There's a lot of AI on there. But as the third year in a row, suspiciously empty. So basically, there's a word in the UK called constipation. It's when you can't go to the toilet. That's what's happening. AI is constipating the hype cycle, and it has done for 2 years. But brilliantly, there's also some humanoid robots, and I do have one of those in my presentation as well. So I'm pretty chuffed about humanoid robots. So let's do this. First of all, what was the brief? This was from Richard. Thank you, Richard, for the brief, broadly speaking, although I did actually make this up. Make sure it's relevant to out of home, but only just. So I've stuck to that. Hopefully each one of these has a dotted line to out of home, but only just. And we're going to do this in 3 sections, as the title suggests: now, next, future. Let's start with now, because that makes sense. These are things you can use now, exist now. Maybe you want to go and try them. But let's have a look what the first one is. So this one is Dream Parks. This is an augmented reality theme park. These have popped up around the world, or especially in America. There's a QR code on the floor. You go up to the QR code, you scan it with your phone, and then you can then experience it in 3D through your phone. No software needed, it's all through your browser. However, if you do so happen to have your augmented virtual reality headset with you, you can also experience it through that as well, the Meta Quest 2, for instance. So this is what it looks like in reality. You can interact with it. Multi-people can do it at the same time. But if you do have your headset on, this is what you look like as well. I don't know about you, but if I wanted to mug somebody for a £200 headset, it'll be these people here. So, but there you go. Interesting. That's
no
number 1.
Energy drinks, just gasoline! Digging to the Earth's core, bare hands, no brakes.
Can I survive a full latex suit in 100-degree heat with no water? Let's find out the hard way. Staring at the sun for 10 minutes straight. Wish me luck.
Counting every grain of sand on this beach. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm doing K2 the honest way. Alone, unprepared, and in a straight line. Leave a comment for the search team. About to do the first plunge into an active volcano. Let's send it. We spent $50 million to rebuild the Titanic just to sink it again. Last person to abandon ship gets a Lambo.
I covered my entire body in compost and waited to see what started growing.
There you go, excellent. The hands. So that's VO2. So this is the brand new, it's been out for about 2.5 weeks from Google. Each one of these videos was a single text prompt. So you go in there, you say, I want somebody running along a beach, chased, it will generate this. So what's interesting about this, it's generating the audio, the background audio, the speech, everything. This has been out 2 weeks. The first model of this, VO1, was out this time last year. December last year was VO2, this is VO3. Imagine what VO4 is going to be like. So what I love about this one is lots of YouTubers now, they're creating their own videos, but in reality, literally real people walking down the street, they're videoing that and saying it's Video 3 or VO3. So at the moment, we're trying to pollute the world with AI. We're also polluting it with real videos, trying to be AI as well, which is weird. We're getting really weird. However, that's VO3. You can play with that now. It is available. Also want to have a look at Metro Charge. This is actually in Barcelona, and this is their metro. And when it slows down into the station, it has regenerative braking. 30%, I think it is, something like that, of its energy as it slows down goes into the station, but also to charge cars outside as well. So just even the spent energy of the train coming into the station is powering cars and transport outside as well, which I think is amazing. Now, obviously, if you're in transport media, then you should be benefiting from this as well, and this should be spreading around the world, because these trains are going to stop anyway. Wouldn't be amazing if your billboard said, powered by trains, powered for free on there as well. So, love that one. That's excellent. And vibe designing. If you don't know what that means, vibe coding is a thing in AI. Now, if you don't know how to code, most of us don't know how to code, you don't need to know how to code anymore because AI will do it for you. If you are a vibe coder, you literally start with nothing and you start asking it what you want and it starts to create the code. You just create on a vibe. That's it. You don't need to know how to code. Vibe designing is now a thing too. So you've got Flora AI, which allows you to vibe a design. So you don't even need to be a designer anymore. This will do your entire workflow. So I've started with my logo at the left-hand side, and I just typed in a prompt like, what would this look like as a character from the 70s or something or other? And then, by the way, what would it look like if it was an animation? And if there was a story, what would the story be? If there was a DVD cover, what would it be like as well? If it had a friend or a foe in this animation, what would the friend or foe be called? And it generates all that for you using AI, and you can choose what model, whether it's an image or Anyway, I've created an entire workflow of a creative. If I then go back to the beginning and change the character right at the beginning, it redoes the entire workflow for me. It generates new characters, new stories. So it's really interesting that your flow as a designer can now be basically flowed on the page as a vibe designer. So that's a new thing. You don't even need to be a designer anymore, and your entire workflow can be mapped out for you. That's the now. This is the next. These are the things that are just over the horizon, maybe not quite within reach, but they do exist, hence why they're here. So this is LG and their stretchable screen. I love the stretchable screen. It can stretch 1,000 times. It's 100 lines per inch, and it also can stretch by 50% as well. So this is interesting, obviously. Their form factor they've showed you here is stretched over a car console, so a dial. But it's, the dial looks like it's 3D, but it's actually the screen over the top. It is touch sensitive. Love about this is that you can put this around a tree. You can put this around a building. Where could you put screens that are more sympathetic to the environment? What would you do if they could stretch? Maybe clothing, maybe on animals, who knows? But stretchable screens are awesome, and it's robust as well. So I like that one. Humanoid robots. I promised a humanoid robot. It is the year of humanoid robots doing weird things. So they've run their first marathon this year. They've had their first autonomous boxing match in China about 3 or 4 weeks ago. These ones are quite small, so it does look like children boxing, which is weird, but there you go. And this is the Tesla robot over here. This is Optimus, and it is dancing like probably Elon Musk would do, dad dancing. But what this is showing you, this might look funny, but what they're doing here is they're testing out lots of things, balance, rhythm. They're talking, if it can interact with other things. If it falls down, can it get up? The ones that ran the marathon faster than you can run the marathon, and it only took 4 charges of battery to do it. They can run at probably 10 kilometers an hour, so they can outrun you, basically. And when they catch you, they're either going to dance in front of you just to taunt you, or they're going to kick you, one of the two. But they can run after you now, and they can catch you up. So autonomous robots, they were on the curve. These are ahead of the curve, so even that curve has progressed in 6 months. There you go, robots. This is kind of interesting. It's called FlexiVol. This is a voluminous screen or volumetric screen, and it is a screen that is 3D. So as you walk around it, it's a little bit the Star Wars, Princess Leia, help me Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. It's that technology. So it looks 3D, is 3D, but it's made out of elastic bands that are moving up and down really quickly. If you project onto the elastic bands, it looks like 3D. Normally when you do this, these are things that are spinning around really quickly to give you that persistence of vision. This is just elastic bands, so you can put your fingers in it and you can interact. You can touch right into it, you can press things, you can prod things, you can move it about. So an interactive volumetric screen is a really interesting thing. People can now experience in 3D as well. So loving that one, a little bit weird, but there you go. And finally, in this section, this is really, really good. This is coming from China, and this is sort of the mandated media about how do you label AI. Now, every piece of content in China, as of September the 1st, I think it is this year, needs to be labeled. If it's AI generated, there are 3 levels of it. If it has what's called implicit, i.e. it has been generated by an AI, there is metadata in the file that makes it look like it's AI, it is definitely AI, it is labeled as, this is definitely AI. If, for instance, somebody has reported something that didn't have any metadata in it, and says, I think it's AI, it's reported as reported, and then if it's detected, i.e. each platform also needs to have its own detection built in that says, even though it doesn't have anything that says it's AI, we think it's AI. And I think there's another one that should be about here which says it's definitely human created. So human craft, human created, that should be there. So I think that's brilliant. I would actually take it, and by the way, this is probably going to come to out of home as well. So it won't just be online, it will be, and this is video, this is text, this is everything that is generated. This will come to online. I think it should also be in hardware. So not just the software and a platform that will do this, I think it should be in the hardware itself. There should be no piece of content that hits a TV, a mobile phone, or any piece of hardware that can escape this. So I think this is a really good thing, and the world should do more of it. Moving on to the future, this is the last bit. There's only 4 to go. The first thing, it's a little bit hard to explain. So this looks like a video. It is a video. And this is me walking down the corridor. I'm turning around. I'm using the keys. You can see I'm using the keys on the keyboard. What this is doing is this is AI generating the frame just in front of me. So as I'm walking through this forest, there is no forest, there is no video. It is generating the forest, one frame in front of every frame that it's doing. When I turn left or right, it knows I'm in a forest, and it makes the forest to the left and to the right. And what's also brilliant about this is if you do a 360-degree turnaround, it remembers what it did last time, so it's persistent as well. Now, what's really interesting about this, the video does not exist. They've just created one frame, and then you can start walking through this experience. Now, if you've got a game engine, there is a Minecraft version of this as well. All it's taught is what is Minecraft, and it can generate Minecraft game in front of you. So you can play an infinite game of Minecraft without any game engine underneath it. This is a bit bonkers, this is a little bit weird, but this is the future of rendering video. You do not need to render video anymore, it will just do it dynamically, one frame ahead of you. This is from Apple. 2 interesting things about this one. A patent for a light bulb with an augmented reality projector in it. So what this is doing is you screw it into the light bulb socket in the middle of your room, and it can generate images all the way around you, onto the walls, onto the floor. There's a low-resolution projector in there that does the walls, and then it can then use a high-resolution one for things like interfaces, if you need to interact with things. So, this one, there's a diagram here of somebody with a virtual reality headset on. That's what that means there, and then this person here can then see what's happening in the virtual reality because it's projected onto the walls around them. So it's bringing augmented reality headsets, virtual reality headsets to real world. Other thing that's interesting is these patents have these terrible images on them because they don't want you to really have a sense of what the actual product's like. If you literally just take this is the sort of the document they give you. If you put that into something like ChatGPT and just say, please render what it might look like, it gives you that straight away. So it's a really good way of rendering the patents out really quickly. This is a little bit interesting as well. It's a little bit bonkers. This is some research that has created a contact lens that has nanoparticles in the contact lens that when they detect infrared radiation, they glow. What that basically means is infrared radiation is heat. It's also what you use in night vision goggles. So what they're doing here is you can see in the dark using these contact lenses. That's what it gives you. It gives you an extra sense. Now, what's interesting is it's bringing in the infrared light. What it's also doing is bringing in the visual light, the daylight. Now, if you close your eyes and you get rid of the daylight, the actual infrared goes straight through your eyelids. You can see better at night with your eyelids closed using these contact lenses. So what I thought was, that's weird already, but what we thought would be even more interesting is therefore you can then project images into somebody's eyes when they're asleep. Even better, you can project it when they're just about to drop off to sleep. You can then start to guide their dreams, especially when they fall to sleep. So I thought that was quite interesting, but slightly weird as well. A little bit dystopian, but still interesting. And finally, we have, and this is available right now if you know how to put it together. Two things about this one. It's using smart glasses to dox people. So dox basically means that you identify them. So this is just a demo at the moment, but it's using a website here. So do not go to the website, but definitely go to the website. It's called pymise.com. If you upload a picture of anybody, it will identify them. I uploaded a picture of me, a really bad one, and it told me exactly who it was, and lots of other pictures I didn't even know were on the internet of me, and that's what it does. So they've wired this into a set of spectacles with a camera in them, and live, what they're doing is they're looking at people as they're walking by, it looks them up, automatically finds them, finds out all about them as well, and then repeats basically onto the screen, into the person's ear, who they are. So he's walking on like underground, and a train station, goes up to any person, it will say who you are, and he'll just have a conversation. Oh, hi Jeff, how are you? And Jeff won't know who you are, but you know who they are. So this is really weird, a little bit dystopian. What I think is interesting is we talk about data. This will never happen, by the way, but imagine a billboard with this in the billboard, and all of a sudden you know every single person who's walking past the billboard. You know who they are, what they're into, everything they've ever liked, who their friends are. And then when we talked earlier about personalization of media, which is never going to happen, it would do if this was legal. Luckily, it's not legal. But there you go, quite interesting. And that's all we have time for, because I only had a limited amount of time. There's more of this, by the way, so if you do like this sort of stuff, broadly speaking, I do one every week, every Monday morning. It's on YouTube, it's QR code there, I think, that one. And if you want to just get in contact for whatever, if you're confused by any of this, please let me know. I will send you the document. I will also send it. It will be on the Woo website as a PDF. You can click on all the links and go and explore these yourself. Hopefully that was interesting. And also, I think we're done. So I'm the only person in the way of your party. So let's go party, essentially. Well done.